The supplies you'll need to complete this skill include a scale and the client's shoes. Make sure to check these 7 benchmarks as you go to complete this skill. A step that is highlighted in red and bold type is called a critical element step. Critical element steps are important steps that must be performed correctly in order for you to pass the skill. If you leave out a critical element step or do not perform it correctly, you will not pass the skill. Good luck! In this video, we will be looking at skill 14, assist a client to ambulate to the scale. The only thing that you should need for this skill is the patient's shoes and your scale. So knocking, good morning, Miss Megan. My name is Teddy. I'm your student nurse aide, and I am here to walk you to your scale to get your weight today. Is that okay? So let's make sure that you're private. I'm going to see that your bed is locked. We've got you in the lowest position. You're lying flat on your back to start. And Miss Megan, I'm going to have your call bell underneath your pillow by your left shoulder so we don't lose that when we're moving you around. You can still reach it. I'm going to wash my hands always before touching my patient. And then I'm going to uncover you and we're going to sit up to the side of the bed, okay? So again, making sure that you're clearing your patient's feet. And I'm going to take this hand, we're going to go behind your shoulder, count of 3, go ahead and sit up and swing your legs off the side of the bed. 1, 2, and 3. Put your feet flat on the floor for me. Perfect. Here are your non-skid shoes to put on. And while you're putting on your shoes, I'm going to double check that it's safe to stand her up. So the bed is locked and we're in the lowest position. For the scale, you want to make sure that both of your blocks are on 0. If you'll note, when you come in, the scale is going to be left on the last weight that was taken. And if you put your patient on the scale and then 0 it, you will not get a correct weight. So you want to make sure your scale is on 0 before your patient stands on the scale. When you go to stand them on the scale, after it's on 0, the arrow will be floating in the metal square. And I want that just to be there on 0 so that when the patient stands on the scale, everything's ready for them. So Miss Megan, I'm going to get you to go ahead and stand up. I'm going to have you stand right in front of the scale. I'm going to make sure my scale is on 0, and then I'm going to have my patient stand in the center of the scale. Go ahead and stand in the center of the scale for me. Now the large block at the bottom will be moved by 50-pound increments until we see our arrow in the center line on the bottom of the square. When the arrow falls to the bottom of the square, you have gone over by 50 pounds. At that point, you back it up 50 pounds, and then you're in the right set of weight for your patient. You're in the right set of 50s for your patient. So I'm going to keep moving this block along by 50-pound increments until it drops to the bottom. When it drops to the bottom, I'm going to slide back to the previous number, and then I will fine-tune my weight by sliding the block along at the top until it's floating right in the middle of the square. It's not touching the top of the square or the bottom of the square. At that point, I'm going to get my patient back to safety. Miss Megan, I'm going to go ahead and have you step off the scale. I'm going to bring you back to bed. Go ahead and sit down for me. Take your shoes back off. I'm going to assist you back in bed. So we're going to come back up. I'm going to assist you back into bed. We're going to have you lay back down. And I'm going to cover her up. I want to come back to my scale for my number. So I'm going to add my weight at the bottom to my weight at the top. So I have 100 at the bottom. I've got 26 at the top. I'm going to combine those together for a total of 126 lbs. And then wash my hands again and skill complete. We always wash before we record. So wash, record 126. We'll abbreviate that as lbs for pounds. And then wash my hands again and say skill complete.